Now, today, we have 3 book launches. Okay, 3 book launches, mind you. And I'm sure they'll turn out to be the best sellers like Ugly Duckling someday. And when we, the audience, will be delighted, the school children, I'm sure, not so much. Now, without any delay and without further jokes, which may turn to poor jokes, let's start with our next event, which is a book launch. It said, there's no friend as loyal as a book. But my friend who is coming up next to moderate the next event has equally impressive credentials. T.M. Mansi Kumar is the founder of Mana Art, which started in 2004, and it specializes in candles. She was the past area divan director and past president of Noida Toastmasters Club. Hang on, it only gets better from here. A BCom graduate and a postgraduate diploma holder in business administration symbiosis, Mansi is also an honorary advisor in the social marketing with Bodhi Tree Foundation on social causes and education of underprivileged children. Let's put our hands together for TM, Mansi, and the authors.
Thank you so much, Mr. Srivastav, for amazing introduction. Now, I welcome each and everyone who could make to the book launch section of Phoenix Literature Festival. And before I rock the stage along with 3 authors, I would request the tech team to kindly show the glimpses who is the first author we'll be presenting right now. So, starting with Aditya. Author Aditya, are you there with me?
Yeah, I'm there.
Aditya. Aditya is the author production that transformed the silver screen. And the book that I'm talking right now is The Complete Collected Short Stories. This is the book that we are talking today, shown with a red cover and the beautiful, handsome picture of author along with the cover. So, welcome once again, Aditya. Also, I would like to add that he's a host of the weekly show, Aditya, a sports, entertainment, and education podcast. A big round of applause for Aditya. Aditya, starting with the 3rd book that you have written, I would like to understand why short stories from the earlier books that you have written.
It was time to move on. I wrote sports reviews and movie reviews, and I thought, let's do something that is popular everywhere. Short stories are something which can connect, and sometimes authors through short stories can tell things which is not possible through other mediums. So I decided to write short stories, and I have been writing these slowly since 2017. So it's a effort of the last, I think, 5-6 years. So I've been writing these slowly, and then I decided to finally compile them into a book. I think that's the best way to get across your stories to people.
That's the story of hope. All of us have, heard, recited, and presented to the world, but you have actually implemented the theme from the story. So, my next question would be, what motivated you, as in the situation surrounding any particular thing that clicked to your mind to go for it?
There was no such particular theme as in, but you read stories and then you say that why should I read somebody else's stories? I mean, you read them, you understand them, but eventually you want your name on the book and you want your ideas there. I mean, there are millions of books. Most of them have kind of cliche, stereotypical ideas of heroes, villains, whether they are female leads, male leads, or both. So I decided let me also dive into this world of short stories. It's my first ever short story collection, so it's a debut thing as far as this is concerned because it's far removed from what I wrote before. My first attempt was to review something that has already happened. That is, the first book was sports review, the second book was movie and TV show reviews, but those events are past. I wanted to write something on my own so that one day, maybe a few years from now, I will have something as in short stories, and the theme is it's generic. Most of my leads are female leads, and it's conflict, their own conflicts that happen between them, and how they overcome it. And some of the short stories I've left in such a manner that I let the readers decide what will happen next. Not all of them are completed. I've left it to the imagination of the readers that you decide what happens next. I have left it as if when you see to be continued in the movie, it's something like that, to be continued. So let the readers complete it. Let them decide what happens, who wins, and let them decide if they have empathy for the protagonist or they have empathy for the antagonist, or if there's something in between. So I leave it to them.
But I have to say that we expect another writing but nothing.
Mansi, you are muted.
Mansi is very good with gestures, I'm sure. Mansi,
Yeah,
let's hear you back.
yes. So, my dear friends, as I was continuing with the question, like Aditya, you wanted your name to be there on the screen, but what is the target audience that you see for your script?
Well, it's 18 plus, though I'm sure right now even someone under 18 can read if they don't. I think it's a wide target audience, but I'll keep it 18 plus, and no such, let's say, gender this thing. Even if you look at the protagonist, if it's a female lead, you say this is not how it works. You can say this is not how it works. This is my perception of how it works, because I have my, because then the whole gender thing comes. I'm not getting into that, but mostly for now 18 plus, because they do understand these ideas and they do get such ideas, because one of my stories is about an 18-year-old and a 16-year-old sisters. So how do they come out of their conflict? That's how uh, one of the stories is. Another one is of, I'll just give an idea of two 40 plus olds, one of them who wants to look young, the other one ridicules her. What is the conversation between them? So things like that. So that's how I've tried to get ideas.
Come to Anil Jalali. Author Anil Jalali has had a varied experience in corporate world with more than 25 years of experience in sales and management and operations in telecom companies like Tata Services and Bharti Tata Auto Components, to name a few. Anil Jalali has been writing since childhood, mainly poems and short stories. The writings are mostly related to finer aspects of human existence and questions related to self inquiry. So, these questions help us in our quest of self development, both internally and externally. He's also a regular blogger and has served PP education at Noida Toastmasters Club. A warm welcome to Anil Jalali. So, Anil, I would like to ask you, what prompts you to write?
uh, you know, everybody has a form of expression. Some people draw, some people read, some people sing, some people like to make some music. So for me, it is writing. When I want to express myself and I feel and I feel about certain aspects of life which are important to me. I feel like writing. So all those things about why we are in this world, what are we planning to do, what is your goal, what do we want to do in this life, all those things I think a lot about, and I try to put them in writing. So all these things put together over a period of time, I have been doing this for the last 15, 20 years. And all these things have been put together for the first time as short stories, as poems, and certain notes in the first book that I have written. So this is a load off my chest. I wanted to publish this because this has been going on for quite some time. I wanted to get it out of my system and out there so that it is there, out and off my chest.
So, can you share something like what this book contains? What is it all about?
I tell you, for example, fear is an emotion that everybody has. Okay, we fear death. We fear something happening to our near and dear ones. We fear about losing our jobs. We fear about money not being there with us when we are in a bad situation. But there are instances in life where a mother, for example, has faced grave situations in her life to save her offspring, to save her child. So those situations, how does a mother in those situations act? What does she think? Does she feel fear? If she does not feel fear, are those things that we can learn something about? Can we improve and put those practices in our life? If we can learn from these situations in our life, in day-to-day life, we can improve ourselves. Fear is just one of the examples that I'm quoting right here. But these are the things that interest me, and I write on them so that I inquire about those things from my own life. And maybe people, while reading about these things, might open a different panorama of their thinking, and maybe it will help in self-development of people.
So, are there other books that you are working on right now?
Yes, I'm working on short stories because that seems to be the flavor of the day with everybody. So I'm working on short stories. That's almost complete. I should be able to bring it out by before the year is out. And I also, since I'm a sales trainer, also I plan to write a training technique book and demystify training for the common people. I also hope, that is my wish, that if one of my stories get converted into a visual medium, that is a huge wish that I am having.
So your wish is being shared with all of us. And as they say, once you express yourself, many energies work towards the same cause. So it's it's really nice that we put across our message, and you never know what the other person has in his basket to offer you. Coming to the last question to you, what message would you like to give to your wannabe readers?
Go get my book, read it. It might be the best thing that is happening to you.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time. So, do we have author Haritosh with us? Haritosh, are you there?
Hi, Mansi. Hi, everyone.
So, Haritosh is an IT project manager with 14 years of industry experience, and he hails from a small town, Jaunpur. Now, if I talk about small town, it is something which gives dreams to people, and dreams which can be materialized in future. So, working with Tata Consulting Services, he's currently deputed to the Basingstoke, the UK, serving a top pharma customer. He loves to mentor and coach young professionals and students in their endeavor, making their journey better and beautiful. I myself has witnessed that trait of Haritosh, as we have met in Toastmasters arena so many times. So this is one quality that he has. And he's a distinguished Toastmaster, a feat that only 1% of Toastmasters around the world achieve. He's passionate storyteller and award-winning speaker, having won applause in India, US, and UK. He loves volunteering and giving back to the community. So there are many things that Haritosh would like to do and share. Plus, you can check it out on YouTube through his channel. He keeps bringing new, captivating, and inspiring content, including inspirational interviews, book reviews, and loads. So, coming to his podcast, Small Town, Bigger Dreams, I would say from the podcast to the book, how did it all happen, Haritosh?
Thank you so much, Mansi, for this beautiful question. Actually, I would say it was the reverse. So I had conceptualized the book that I'm going to write a book. I didn't know the name, but the beautiful name came around. But once the name and the book was sort of in my mind, that's when I need to do something for people who are not reading the book. There are a lot of audio listeners as well. So I thought maybe I can share some of the lessons in the form of YouTube videos or podcasts, and I've been getting some really good feedback and reviews on that. So that's how it started. It's sort of rehearsed the book idea, and then YouTube and podcast came along.
Okay, so I would say the reverse engineering, the concept you had applied in your writing. And all of us would like to know what motivates you to write a book or express various mediums that we have talked about.
Sure, Mansi. So I'll tell the story about why this book and all. That starts around 1994-95 on a roof of a small town. There were two siblings and looking at the sky. And then the young girl says, "What is that, brother?" And the brother says, "You know what? When the airplane flies, there's a white smoke outside." The sister says, "Oh, it must be so amazing to sit on one of those." And the brother says, "You know what? One day I'll be traveling on those planes." 25 years down the line, both of them did not know that it's going to happen. But I, the big brother, have been traveling more than 50,000 miles now. I'm on my third international deputation. I came from a small town, but now I'm at this place. And it became very important for me to convey the learnings, the messages, the lessons that I've learned over the years, because I know somewhere down the line, somebody else might be struggling with those, might be looking for some sort of mentor. So this Small Town Bigger Dreams is the collection of 21 lessons that I have gone through. Most of them are my own lessons, my own stories. Some of them have been borrowed from my friends' families. And this is how this book is all about, to inspire the next generation. That one small town guy, if he can achieve his bigger dreams, the purpose of the book is solved.
Great. So any specific target audience that you thought in mind before writing it?
Definitely. As I said, this is, as the name itself suggests, Small Town Bigger Dreams. I came from a place called Jaunpur, which I'm very proud of. And there are so many people who come from small towns or B town, C town, as you say, and they want to achieve more, but at times they don't have the resources, they don't have the mentors, they don't have the lessons that they need to go through. So this is where the book is targeting those people, that they'll get some lessons and some learnings out of that.
So thank you so much, Haritosh. It is something wherein, you have given them a path wherein whatever encounters them, they know how to put their foot and how to understand the situation around. Thank you so much for joining in. With this, I thank all the three authors, from Aditya, Anil to Haritosh, and I hand over stage back to our lovely, beautiful MC, Srivastav. Thank you, Shiva.
Thank you, Mansi. That is what I was waiting for. Thank you. You made my day, Toastmaster Mansi.